Hey everybody, Eli Hoff, Ben Frederickson, your eye on the Tigers and Post-Dispatch crew, talking a little bit of Missouri men's basketball. Ben, it's finally here, basketball season tipping off, and strangely, it feels like more optimism around what the Tigers are going to be doing on the court than what they're doing on the gridiron these days. I guess that's just how things go when your football team gets shut out and your starting quarterback is injured there. But let's talk about some of this optimism for Mizzou men's basketball. Season starts Monday, 7 p.m. at Memphis. We'll, of course, have you covered at the Post-Dispatch. I'll be on site in Memphis at the game. I'm curious, Ben, what are you most looking forward to watching, or I guess learning about this team in what's a pretty interesting test to start the season?
Yeah, kudos to Mizzou for scheduling this game. I like that they're taking a big bite out of a Memphis team that everybody expects a lot from every year under Penny Hardaway. I like starting the season with a bang and being willing to do it on the road. So compliments to Dennis Gates and his crew for scheduling this game. I'll take the obvious angle. I'm interested to see what these transfers bring to this team. Look, no breaking news here. Last season stunk. They didn't win a conference game, and I was pretty surprised in a pleasant way that Missouri recruited as well as it did, despite a really tough season. They got what is believed to be a top 15 freshman class, and they got what is believed to be a top 15 transfer class. You hope that 3 years from now, those freshmen, if they're still around, are doing great things. But right now, you lean on Tony Perkins and Mark Mitchell to come in via the transfer portal and make this team competitive in SEC play. So anytime a player goes from Duke to Mizzou, people sit up and pay attention. I think Mark Mitchell, does he look like he's going to be capable of being a face to know in the SEC? Tony Perkins comes with a lot of that, high level experience as well, and he should be able to contribute immediately for this team. So I'm curious to see how the big transfers make their kind of initial debut. Against some games, you might say, well, what are we really going to learn, right? But against Memphis, this is a quality team, really good players. They recruit very well. I'm curious to see if those guys stand out in this first game.
I'm going to take the other half of the newcomers coming to this team and say I'm really intrigued to see what the freshmen bring in this game. And that comes with an asterisk of, I'm not sure all five freshmen will get into that game. I'm not sure all five need to, but I think the two kind of at the top of the class being Honor Boateng and then Peyton Marshall, the center, are two I'm really interested to see because I see paths to minutes for them as this season goes on. I think they're players who this team could frankly wind up needing by the time conference play rolls around. Now, if they go out and struggle, I don't think that's going to be any sort of major red flag. It's a tough game against Memphis, a road environment, their first collegiate games. It's trial by fire to start things off. But if either of them could go out and put together a strong performance here, knock down some shots, make their impact felt when they're on the floor, that's a really strong indicator for this team and frankly for this program. Dennis Gates is someone who he wants to go about this in kind of an old-fashioned way. He wants to recruit young talent, develop them, and turn them into really good college players and NBA players down the road. That has to start somewhere, and that starts Monday for these freshmen against Memphis. So that's what I'll be keeping an eye out for sure, along with the transfers and, of course, how some of these returners do. Like I mentioned, we'll have you covered at the St. Louis Post-Dispatch and STL today with more Mizzou men's basketball season preview content with coverage of that game and of course, the entire season or however it ends up shaking out. We'll see if Mizzou can win a game for the first time in calendar year 2024 on the hardwood. And for more analysis like this, be sure to check out the Eye on the Tigers podcast. Ben and I have a new episode out now. We break down what's been going on with Mizzou football, what the rest of the season will look like there, and some more of our expectations and optimism around the men's basketball team this year. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the Eye on the Tigers podcast.